Hi everybody. So, plan, you take the exam, and then for homework, we're going to watch this video and do the homework sheet that goes with it. So, the first section here, the sum, the difference, the product, that's just really just different ways of showing you, right? So, f plus g of x, right? Add the f of x, add the g of x. F minus g of x, right? Subtract the g of x from the f of x. Right? Super basic, super straight to the point. So if we're looking where it says find a rule, let me get this word. So it says find the rule, that's really the new equation. Right, so whenever it says find the rule, we're really finding a new equation. Right, so in this first one, if I were to graph, I'm just going to graph. So I got f of x. I got y-intercept at 1, I'm going up 1 over 1. All right, I'm going down 1 over 1. All right, there is my f of x graph. All right, next, I got my x squared minus 1. So with my parabola, since a is 1, as we talked about in class, I got the 1, 3, 5 method. So my vertex is at 0, negative 1. I'm going up 1 over 1, and I'm going up 3 over 1, and then 5 would be off the graph. All right, so there is g of x. So in this scenario here, the idea is that we want to combine them together. So option 1 is we literally just take x plus 1 and add it to x squared minus 1. Which gives us our new equation of x squared plus x. So that is the rule, right? The rule is the new equation. That is the equation we have, and technically if you were looking to solve it, x plus 1, x and x plus 1, that's another version of it. Now for graphing purposes, we want to take our points and combine them together. So if we make our xy chart, if we have x, if we have g of x, we have f of x, and then we have the f plus g. So if we go with negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, I think that's a good sampling. So with our g of x, at negative 2 we have 3, at negative 1 we have 0, negative 1, 0, 3. For f of x, we would have negative 2 plus 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So what does that look like when we actually add them together? 2, 0, 0, 2, 6. So it gives us enough information there. So with our graphing, negative 2, 2. All right, negative 1, 0. 0, 0, 1, 2, and 2, 6. Right. And I guess it's key in that situation that if we need the bottom point, we need our negative b over 2a. So negative 1 over 2 times 1, the axis of symmetry is negative a half. If we plug that in, we can get the y value in that case, which is, if we squared that, we'd have 1/4 plus negative 1/2, which is negative 1/4. So our vertex of that combo is negative 1/2, negative 1/4. Done. All right, with the second scenario here, we have g of x divided by f of x. So we have x squared minus 1 over x plus 1, which from our rational functions unit last year, we can factor and we can cancel to give us just x minus 1. Now the fact that we canceled x plus 1s, that's telling us that the restriction of negative 1 is a whole. And if we plug into our equation there, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2, so we have a linear equation with a hole. Now this is a little bit easier to graph because in the end it's just a line with a hole if we were to do division. So our graph here, Right, we have whole -1, -2. Right, and we have our actual line cutting through. Right? So the rule in this scenario is x minus 1 with x not being able to equal -1. That's our rule. And the answer would have to be both pieces. X minus 1 with x not equaling -1. That's what's going to eliminate out the hole in the graph. Okay, so, why am I having so many issues? Nope. All right, example 2. All right, option 1. Well, first thing first, I'm going to graph. So if I were to graph g of x, I got 2x. I got there. My y-intercept at 0, going up 2, over 2, up 2, over 2, down 2, down 2, down 2. That's my g of x equation. My f of x, if I took out this scenario, I'd have my y-intercept at 0, -2. So I could do a whole factor idea. Take out 2x squared minus 1, 2x minus 1, x plus 1. So my y-intercept, so I got enough information on that now. So my y-intercept is 0, -2, which is also my vertex. My x-intercepts are there. And the 1, 3, 5 method, because a is 2, is 2, 6, 10. So if we really want to get everything out there, we're going up to that, and up to that. So that is my f of x. All right. So if we look at part A, we got f, 2x squared minus 2 minus 2x, which gives us 2x squared minus 2x minus 2. That is our new equation. And if we wanted to graph this, what do we need? Well, we need a vertex. So our vertex in this situation, -b over 2a. Our vertex is at 1/2, and we plug that in to get 1/2, comma, what we have, -5 over 2. So we're here, 1/2, -5 over 2. We're looking at it right there. We still have that up, a is still 2, so we could go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and we get that graph. So that in there, that red, that is our rule, the graph of our rule for f minus g of x. If we go to part B, we're being asked to FOIL them together. So we have 2x times 2x squared minus 2 gives us 4x to the third minus 4x. There's our rule. But for the purpose of graphing, we can break this down. So if we break this down, we GCF of 4x, we get x squared minus 1, which tells us that we have roots at 0, 1, and -1. Now going all the way back to our end behavior topic, right, since the lead coefficient is positive, we end going up, and since it's odd, we started going down. That's key. So on my graph, I have -1, 0, and 1. I start going up here, I end going down here, and I have all my pass-throughs of my x-intercept. So that's our sketch with that scenario. All right, so there's example 2. All right, coming to the end here. Let me erase this line. Okay, so given two graphs, right? We have F, we have G. They're on that picture right there. We want to use that graph to solve for these equations. So if we're talking about F plus G of 0, what this is really asking us is, well, know what? What is F of 0 plus G of 0? So if we look at the graph, when x is 0 for F, you have 0. When x is 0 for G, you have 5. So F plus G of 0 is 5. This is F of 3 plus G of 3. If we look at that scenario, F of 3 is, they're both going to be actually the same thing. So it's 4 plus 4, which is 8. Done. Getting a little bit more complicated, This is saying, when does F minus G equals 0? Well, know what? If it's F minus G equals 0, that's actually just telling us when does, if I add over the G of X, when does F of X equal G of X? All right, so if I set it up like that, that's easy. So in this case, I look at my graph. Where do they cross? 3 and negative 3. Using the same idea here. Right? This is saying F of X minus G of X is greater than 0. Well, know what? If I add the G of X over, this is actually saying where is the F equation greater than the G equation? Well, that's all right in there. Now, so we don't get an actual single numeric value here. Everything between 3 and negative 3 works in that scenario. All right, sketch time. All right, so for our sketch, it's important to know some of the values we have. So we want to combine these together. So if we look, I can start in the middle here. If we add the x value at 0, all right, so I'm going to draw it over here. X, F, G, and we got F plus G. So if I go negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So looking at my graph, for F at negative 2, I'm going to change it, make it negative 3. That's an actual nice point. Same thing there. So I got negative 3 and 3. So at negative 3, we have 4 for F. At negative 1, we have, it's not even good either. But I can go at 0, I have 5. And at 3, I have 4. Right? So that's some good stuff there to, legit points. For G of X, for negative 3, I have 4. For negative 1, still don't have much. For G, I have 0. And here I have 4. So I got 8, 5, 8. Right? And due to the one line being curved, it's not really going to go in a linear setup. Right? So the question is, as things go on, as we add them together, right, will they be increasing? Will they be decreasing? Well, the fact that this goes down to 0, right, this would be our highest point right here. Right? 4 plus 4 is 8. That's where we top up. While over here, this is 0 plus whatever we got there. So I'd say our graph of the addition looks somewhat like this. I would say that is our F of G of X added together. Right, then if we switch it up and make this subtraction, F minus G. Right, so a key thing we're doing, F minus G, we got 0. F minus G is 5. And we got 0 again. So we'd go there, 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 and we'd have some curved aspect to this. And that would be our f minus g of x. All right, last example's g and h. All right, plus 1, this tells us move it up 1. So the whole graph would go up. All right, so we'd have that, we'd have that, we'd have that. That goes there. I'm looking for nice clean points. That makes this easier. And we have that curve. The g of x minus 1 means we go down 1. So we'd have here, here, here. And we have this graph like so. All right. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives us a good start. So tonight for homework, work on both the first homework assignment and the second homework assignment, and we will check those over in class on Tuesday. Have a good one.